Greg, Joe Biden made unexpected news Tuesday night during a call with the Hispanic advocacy group Voto Latino. Here's the president's reaction to a joke made Sunday night during a Trump rally at Madison Square Garden, where Puerto Rico was referred to as an island of garbage.
The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters. His demonization of seen as unconscionable, and it's un-American.
During a campaign rally in Pennsylvania, Florida Senator Marco Rubio told Donald Trump about Joe Biden's comment.
Just moments ago, Joe Biden stated that our supporters are garbage. Are garbage. He's talking about the Border Patrol. He's talking about nurses. He's talking about teachers. He's talking about everyday Americans who love their country and want to dream big again and support you, Mr. President. And I hope their campaign is about to apologize for what Joe Biden just said. We are not garbage. We are patriots who love America. And thank you for running, Mr. President.
The former president then said this.
That's terrible. That's what it says. That's what it says. So you have, remember Hillary, she said deplorable, and then she said irredeemable, right? But she said deplorable, that didn't work out. Garbage, I think, is worse, right? But he doesn't know, you have to please forgive him. Please forgive him, for he not knoweth what he said.
The White House later tried to walk back Joe Biden's comment, but it was too little, too late.
Former President Donald Trump's interview on the Joe Rogan Experience last week was the most viewed episode this year, with more than 34 million views within 72 hours of posting. However, on Monday, Breitbart News reported the full interview did not appear in the first 50 search results when the names of Trump and Rogan were entered. The report went on to say YouTube acknowledged the issue on social media, saying it was working to address the problem. In an effort to make the interview more accessible, Joe Rogan posted it on Elon Musk's X platform, and just days after his running mate made an appearance, Republican vice presidential candidate J.D. Vance is sitting down with Joe Rogan today for an interview in his Austin studio. There has also been talk of Vice President Harris appearing on Rogan, but he has indicated her demands of just a one-hour interview and having him travel to her are unacceptable. Back to you, Mike.
Fewer journalists at the Washington Post are up in arms about owner Jeff Bezos' decision not to have the paper endorse Kamala Harris for president. Some even quit their jobs in protest. Most who quit were opinion columnists, but former executive editor Martin Barron was over the news department.
But this was a decision that was announced 11 days before the election. It was not a decision made in consultation with the editorial board. It was a decision that, according to the Post itself, its own reporting, that was made by Jeff Bezos, and the circumstances are just highly suspect.
Bezos did state the timing was a matter of poor planning, not an intentional strategy. Greg.
While Kamala Harris has championed abortion from conception to the birthing room, the Biden-Harris administration have worked tirelessly against religious freedom. The Federalist reports that if Harris is elected, religious organizations will face even more intrusive and costly litigation against them. Chances are most religious employers will eventually face litigation from a disgruntled current or former employee, even if an employment discrimination case is frivolous. The typical cost of defending and or settling one is around $160,000. Most houses of worship have 250 attendees or less, so fighting an employment lawsuit is even worse. Plaintiffs can probe deeply into a religious organization's confidential records and their communications.
Intense efforts are underway to broker a ceasefire between Israel and Hezbollah in Lebanon. U.S. advisors Brett McGurk and Amos Hochstein are due to arrive for meetings with Prime Minister Netanyahu to discuss the proposal's details. Israel is considering the most recent proposals from mediators aimed at reaching a ceasefire for the release of Israeli hostages in Gaza. The proposal would reportedly include a month-long truce and the release of between 11 and 15 hostages. According to U.S. media and satellite imagery, Israel has destroyed all 4 Russian-made S-300 systems it had before the Israeli attacks. According to Fox News, Israel destroyed 1 S-300 battery in April and 3 more more in the strikes earlier this month. The Wall Street Journal confirmed that all of Iran's existing S-300 batteries have now been disabled. Steve Leibowitz for ILTV and Victory News.
Thank you, Steve. Now, please join us in continued prayer for the peace of Jerusalem. Greg.